If you're a busy woman struggling to lose weight, you've probably told yourself the same thing over and over again. You just don't have time. But the truth is, your schedule isn't the real reason why you feel like weight loss is impossible. The real reason is actually a lot deeper. And that is the way you learn to place yourself at the bottom of your priority list. When everyone else comes first, your workouts get skipped, convenience food takes over, and every week feels like you're starting over again. I'm Mr. Unstoppable. I'm a women's transformation specialist who helps women lose weight, build confidence, and reclaim their identity with fitness, mindset, and self-prioritization. In this video, I'm going to show you the real reason why busy women struggle with their weight and how you can finally break the cycle. So let's get started. First thing you have to understand is weight loss is not a time problem. It is a self-prioritization problem. Busy women like yourself often think that time is the barrier, but the real issue is you've learned to prioritize everybody else besides yourself. Think about the roles that you play for everybody else. If you're a mother, you're a wife, or you have a high demanding job, all of these people are going to come before you. So when it comes to your time, you're going to be scheduling everything to make sure everybody else is good first before yourself. And when this happens, you become the last thing on your list, if even on your list at all. But that's not really your fault. Women are amazing nurturers, so they have a habit of putting other people first before themselves. And unfortunately, when you do this, you tend to leave little to no room for yourself at the end of the day. But again, it's not a time issue. It's about self-prioritization. The same way that you schedule time for your children, time for your spouse, or time for work. In that same way, you need to start scheduling time for yourself. Now, I know that's easier said than done. And most women think to themselves, if everything else is handled, then I guess nothing else really matters. But think about it this way. Think about the changes that would take place in your work, with your family, with your friends, every aspect of your life that would improve if you started to put yourself first again. If you felt more confident because you were able to lose those last 10 pounds. If you had more energy for your family or for work or for your spouse or for yourself. How would your life and relationships improve if you felt less stressed, if you felt less burnt out? Every single role that you play for everybody else can be leveled up when you start to take care of yourself, because you also matter, not just the roles that you play for other people in their lives. And I'm sure the people in your life would agree with that. Now let's talk about decision fatigue and how it destroys your discipline. By the end of a long day filled with work, kids, and responsibilities, your brain is exhausted. So naturally, when this happens at the end of the day, it's going to choose the easiest option. And this is why decision fatigue is going to destroy discipline. Look at it like this. Willpower is just like a phone battery. At the beginning of the day, you have a mass amount of it because you're fully charged, right? You haven't had to make any decisions, nothing has transpired, and hopefully you've woken up from a good long night's rest. So you start with your battery on the highest level, 100%. As the day goes by and you're making decisions between work, the kids, decisions about what to eat, meetings that you have, canceled meetings that you have, those emails you got to catch up with, and all the chaos that ensues outside of the things that you have already prepared for the day, slowly but surely your willpower starts to dip, a few percent at a time. After making all those decisions and making things happen and putting all the energy and effort into the spaces that you need to each and every day, by the end of it all, you're completely drained. So it's no wonder why you don't want to work out after you've done all that. It's no wonder why at the end of the day, you choose takeout or the drive-through instead of a home-cooked meal, or why you would rather go home and relax rather than going to go to the gym to get a workout, or just grabbing a comfort food at the end of a long day instead of something healthy. But you're a human being, so nobody can blame you for that. But it does explain why it seems so hard for busy women to lose weight. Does that make sense? So you're probably thinking, how do you make it happen if you can't rely on willpower at the end of the day? Stay tuned, I'm going to cover that very shortly. Now let's talk about identity and how your identity plays a role in your actions and intentions. Your brain follows your identity, not your intentions. If you believe that you're somebody who always starts over or you never stick to things, unfortunately, your behavior is going to reinforce that identity in your subconscious mind. So this is why it's so hard for people to make changes, because it's a process where you have to change your personal identity. And this takes time. Think about it this way. Your identity is something that is created based on your actions and your habits. So if you've been doing the same thing over years and years and years, the identity that you have created is pretty firm due to the repetition of habits that have occurred over a long period of time. But fortunately for you, there is a way to change that. And human beings are great at adaptation and making changes. Some changes just take a little bit more time and a little bit more effort than we expect. But if you understand how identity shift works, it's a simple thing to do, but it does take time. So how do you start changing your identity? By changing small habits at a time. For instance, if you want to step into the identity of the woman who follows through, the type of woman who doesn't break promises to herself, this is what you got to do. Give yourself something small that's simple and easy to achieve. And then repetition. So for instance, if you wanted to start making small changes to lose weight, start with a 10-minute workout. This is something that works very well because it's very easy to do. 10 minutes isn't a lot of time. And you're probably thinking, well, how is this actually going to help you? Because it's so easy to do that it wouldn't make sense for you not to do it. Also, there's a lot less friction with only doing 10 minutes a day. If you tried to jump to a 30-minute workout or an hour workout when you don't work out at all, there's going to be a lot of resistance from the identity that you already curated over the time and repetition. But if you start with a 10-minute workout, something simple as just going outside for a walk, maybe taking a brisk jog, or maybe doing some bodyweight exercises for 10 minutes, it's going to be easy to do, but also you're going to get those wins that can compound and build momentum into the bigger wins, like a snowball effect. You want to start small, and then as time passes, you're going to create big changes. And again, you got to think about how you're battling the identity that's already there. So smaller inputs equal smaller resistance from your current identity while you're shifting into your new identity. Try that out and let me know how it works in the comments. Which brings us to our next point. Small actions rebuild confidence and consistency, because confidence doesn't come from motivation. It comes from keeping promises to yourself. Think about these small deposits as something that's going into your trust bank. Every single time that you said you'd do something and you didn't do it, your subconscious mind is keeping track of that. Every single time that happens, you are constantly losing trust with yourself. This is why it's so hard when you're trying to do something that you tried to do before, because your subconscious mind remembers. All those times you said you were going to wake up early to go work out and you didn't do it, your subconscious mind remembers. Every single time that you said you was going to eat clean or eat healthier and you didn't, it remembers that too. After a long time of broken promises to yourself, you have to rebuild that trust. And the way that you rebuild that trust is with these small daily inputs and deposits that you put into your trust bank. So right now, if you're not very confident in yourself, look at it as your trust bank is in the negative. So you have to get out of trust debt with these small deposits, and then you can get back in good standing with your trust account. If you've ever been in debt before, you know it takes time, but those small deposits do add up, just like they'll add up with your self-trust. Just make sure you give yourself time to do this and make those constant deposits on a regular basis. Now, as I promised you earlier, I'm going to show you how to get rid of decision fatigue. But first, if this video and tips have been helpful to you, you can check out my school community called the Unstoppable Academy. The link is in the description. Now, let's talk about systems and why they beat motivation every single time. Busy women succeed with weight loss when they simplify their decisions. When you learn to structure your environment and remove the need for willpower, you will succeed. One good example of a great system is your Google Calendar, or whatever calendar that you use. When you have things in your schedule, you take them more seriously. Also, they're more likely to get done because you have a system and a structure to get them done. You know, if you have an 8 a.m. meeting, you're not gonna book something in that space because it's already taken. That same concept can be utilized for your workouts. Schedule your workouts, then you will take it seriously. You will also prepare for those workouts too as well. In fact, you might even look forward to them. But the most powerful thing about it is you don't have to decide if you're working out. You don't have to decide when you're working out. You don't even have to decide what you want to wear for the workout, because you can structure it to where you know what time you're going to work out, you know what workouts you're going to do, and you know how long it takes to get there and everything else that goes along with that. When you can take the energy it takes out for you to decide, you make it so much easier for yourself. This is why systems will always beat motivation, because motivation is a fleeting feeling. You might have it today, you might not have it tomorrow. You might have it at this moment, but you might not have it at the end of an 8 to 10 hour shift. A wise man once said, the future belongs to the person who plans today. So if you make it easier for yourself to win with a good system, structure, and a good schedule, and less decision fatigue, then you're gonna be more apt to make it happen. This is a very good reason why having a workout program is gonna help you too as well. Because if you know exactly what you're gonna do when you get into the gym, you don't have to worry about deciding when you get there. And if you need a workout program to help you with that, you can schedule a free strategy call with me. The link is in my channel description, because it's a lot easier to succeed when you have a plan of action and less decisions to make. If this video resonated with you and you're starting to understand that the real challenge isn't just weight loss, that it's more about rebuilding discipline, self-trust, and confidence, then you don't have to figure it out alone. In my Unstoppable Academy, I help women just like you break the cycle of stopping and starting over. It's a space where you can build real discipline, prioritize yourself, and become the strongest version of yourself physically as well as mentally. If you're ready to stop restarting and finally become the woman that you know you can be, join my community. The link is in the description to this video. I'll see you inside. Peace and blessings be upon each and every one of you. And as always, stay unstoppable.